Have you ever just had that quiet whisper, the one telling you maybe your past has got too tight a grip on your future, or that feeling you get like you're constantly performing for, I don't know, for other people's approval, that maybe deep down there's another way to live, one that feels more authentically you. Today we're doing a deep dive into some really profound ideas around self-liberation, about living truly. Our courses aren't just giving generic advice. They offer these powerful insights, real-world examples, too, that kind of act like a shortcut, helping us understand some fundamental truths about, shaping your own reality. So let's jump into this first big one. The idea that you are not just a product of your past. It's easy to feel like our history is like a life sentence. But the core insight here is your past isn't a blueprint. It's just raw material. And I think most people don't even realize they're holding the pen.
Precisely. It's not about pretending the past didn't happen. It's about consciously choosing to see it as, well, data, not destiny. Think about someone like Raj. Spent a decade in banking, totally convinced I'm a finance guy. The real shift wasn't just him changing careers after a layoff. It was realizing that whole finance guy identity. It was just a story, maybe one imposed by others, maybe one he told himself, but a story he could actually rewrite.
That's a really key distinction, not erasing it, but rewriting what it means.
Oh, okay.
But what about those really deep-seated things like learned behaviors from childhood? You mentioned the woman who learned to be invisible, maybe for safety. Can you truly shed those? Or is it more about managing them?
Well, the sources really emphasize that while, yes, they are learned, they don't have to define you now. The profound shift happens when you recognize maybe the external danger that caused it is gone. And now you have agency. You can actually choose a new path, a visible one, not just manage the old pattern forever. It's about that conscious choice, right here, right now.
So maybe just take a second. What stories have you been telling yourself about who you are based on where you've been?
Okay, building on that, relating to others. Let's dive into something that feels a bit counterintuitive at first. This belief that all problems are actually relationship problems. The sources make a pretty strong case that a lot of our deep struggles, anxiety, anger, feeling inferior, they often stem from how we relate to people. Especially when we're looking for that external validation,
Yeah.
or constantly comparing ourselves. Life just becomes this exhausting performance.
Yeah, the insight there is every time you define your success by looking sideways, by comparing, you're not just losing peace. You're basically handing over your power. Freedom isn't just about what you do. It's fundamentally about who you're doing it for. Think of Sophie, the manager who micromanaged everything. Her real issue wasn't her team's competence. It was managing their perception of her. Or that startup founder, obsessively checking competitors on LinkedIn, finding misery in comparison, even when his own company was doing okay. It's a performance for an audience that might not even be watching.
Wow. Okay, this next point really challenges a lot of conventional thinking. It's maybe one of the toughest truths here. The idea of stopping trying to be liked. It sounds harsh, but sources say needing to be liked is maybe the surest way to end up disliking yourself. It waters down who you are, forces you to live someone else's script.
It does sound harsh, yeah. But it's crucial to understand the sources aren't saying go be a jerk or isolate yourself. They make a key distinction. It's not about being disliked. It's about releasing the need for everyone to approve of you.
Okay.
Because that's where the self-compromise starts. When you stop fear and rejection, you gain this calm consistency, a quiet kind of power that, ironically, people often respect more. Like James, the quiet rebel in that toxic hustle culture. He didn't need them to like him. He just needed to be clear about his boundaries and deliverables. And leadership eventually saw his actual impact.
That hits home. And honestly, when have you, listening right now, found yourself shrinking a bit? Or saying yes when you really meant no, just to keep the peace? That's a bit of a gut check question, isn't it? Because I think we've all been there. This leads really nicely into the next idea. That tasks belong to those who own the outcomes. Our sources highlight that so much of our suffering comes from trying to control things that just aren't our responsibility. Like other people's opinions, their emotions, even their outcomes. Clarity comes when you define what is actually your task.
Exactly. When you get really clear on what's your job and what isn't, a lot of the noise just fades away. Your task might be to speak your truth honestly, or to show up consistently. But the outcomes for others, how they react, what they achieve, that's theirs to own. Think of Anna, trying so hard to fix her brother's college problems. Their relationship only got better when she backed off. Her task was support, maybe encouragement, not control.
Separating those tasks. Okay, next up, let's talk about shifting from competition to contribution.
living for contribution, not competition. Society pushes comparison constantly, doesn't it? Wealth, looks, intelligence, status. But the sources suggest none of that actually brings lasting peace. It just fuels this endless hunger for more. True peace seems to come from asking, am I contributing something meaningful here?
Yeah, contribution is presented as this sustainable kind of joy. Unlike the endless treadmill of competition, when you wake up knowing you're useful maybe just to one person or to your team or to some mission you care about, you tap into this grounded kind of joy. It isn't dependent on beating someone else. Think of Leo, that graphic designer. He found way more impact, more satisfaction designing tactile books for an NGO than chasing viral trends online.
Right.
Or, the unknown YouTuber with maybe 300 viewers, but gets 2 heartfelt messages saying, this helped me.
Yeah.
For them, that contribution, that's enough.
So think about it for a second. Where do you feel genuinely useful? Where does your effort actually add value, not just try to score points against someone else? And finally, this brings us to a really liberating truth. Happiness is a choice, not a destination. It's not something you earn like a reward at the end of the road, the big vacation, the promotion, the title. It's a choice you make moment by moment, regardless of what's happening externally.
And if we tie all this together, you start to see you don't actually need another certificate, another job title, another compliment to be okay. The really profound insight here is this core belief. You are fundamentally free. Right now, think of Tanya, the senior engineer laid off from big tech. Instead of panic, she found this unexpected happiness in just choosing presence, reading, journaling. She actively chose how to respond, how to show up, even when she was scared. And this brings up a huge question, really. Once you truly accept that you are free, what does every single moment become? It becomes a canvas, not just a continuation of whatever happened yesterday, but a courageous choice, a choice to live with intention, not just by imitation.
Wow. A canvas. I like that. If this deep dive made you think, maybe consider sharing it with someone you know who might need to hear it. And if you're finding these ideas helpful, subscribing really does mean a lot. It helps us keep creating content like this, trying to cut through some of the noise out there.